Holy epic toy store, Batman. It's the Sometimes vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Look at this place, everyone. My hands are shaky. You'll have to forgive the crudity of this vlog. I don't have time to build it to scale or to paint it, mostly because I'm terrified of wampas. This, everyone, is the Toy Shack in Las Vegas, Nevada, just off Fremont Street. If you don't know what Fremont Street, it's the old downtown of Las Vegas. Go back to last week on this channel on the vlogs, and we did a pretty epic vlog from Fremont Street. We met Dirty SpongeBob. Nice fella. Nice fella. This is the Toy Shack, and if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because this is the home of Johnny something or other, the toy expert from Pawn Stars. Every time they show Pawn Stars on the History Channel, they have a toy, and they need to know something about it. They're like, oh, such and such and blah blah blah, and they call this dude who owns this place, and he comes and assesses the value of their toys. And luckily, to explore this place with me, I brought a buddy of mine. He knows everything about toys. He knows everything there is to know about toys. Let me call him and see if he'll come down here, right? And then we shake, and we shake. Just give me your hand. We shake the hands.
How's it going?
It's my buddy George.
Hey guys,
it's the Sometimes George. He's a guy, if you don't know him, he works in a security booth. I have no idea how I met you, George. Super random. But here we are together.
On the market, you can probably get it for about, let's say, $5.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm just giving you like a bogus
okay,
estimate.
okay. Look at this, everybody. This is the best. This is the craziest, coolest toy store I've ever been in my entire life. It's amazing.
Sweet,
look at all this stuff from my childhood.
Everybody
loves.
I'm just seeing a bunch of toys that I used to have, and I just want them all again.
Here's the thing, man. I love action figures. I love toys. I'm gonna flip this around while I say this. I love collectibles. I love Disneyland. If you notice the pattern, I like roadside attractions and historical stuff. I like history and I like art. I like pop art and kitsch. And the reason I like pop art and kitsch and collectibles and stuff like that and plastic pop fun things is because I like things that just bring joy. Especially when you use a little imagination. I was just thinking that the cynical man looks at this and goes, look at this pile of old plastic. What a waste. But I think of all of the years of children and the generations of children, especially the used ones that are out of the package. Who touched that? Who played with that? Who used their imagination with that? Me particularly, I am super stoked about this. Look at all this stuff. Remember the Batman the Animated Series? And all those crazy Batman shows. These are the modern He-Man Master of the Universe. There's just so much stuff to look at in here. So much interesting, cool stuff.
I just think these are the coolest. The little mini figures.
Like a little Micro Machine style play set. Look at this right here. DC Comics Superheroes Toy Biz 1989 created a line of DC superhero toys. I'll actually show you some of the toys because they're over here. Created the first line of Batman toys. I was super stoked on them. That is a figure case for them that I didn't know existed at the time. Where are they? They're right here. Some of them. There's the Riddler right there. The Penguin, Bob, the Joker's goon. And when this line ended, because Kenner got the license for Batman, and Kenner created these Dark Knight series ones right here. This guy in the black, the really good looking ones, Dark Knight series. The one next to him, that Joker, Toy Biz. This Joker in back here behind Bob, Kenner. This one in front, Toy Biz. Toy Biz was a company that wasn't so great at making toys. When they all went off the market, the only toy left from that Toy Biz line on every shelf was Lex Luthor. This guy right here. This bald Lex Luthor toy, and his action move was to put his ring up to like his mouth. It was weird, George. It was weird. That's from my childhood. That's awesome. A piece of my childhood. Okay, the rarest thing in here, they have all kinds of rare and amazing collectibles. And you guys gotta chime in on the comments if you see something from your own childhood, something interesting that you remember from being a kid. But one of the coolest and rarest things they have in here, this girl Gabby that works here showed me last time I was in Las Vegas, is this up here, the Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab. Can you guys see that up there? It's right, where is it? Where am I looking? Right here. See this yellow thing and this red box here? The Gilbert Atomic Energy Lab. Apparently, there are actual samples of, I don't know if it's actually uranium, but there's some sort of live radioactive sample in there. It's from way back in the day, and it comes with a real working Geiger counter. That can be yours for, I think she said $500. She said that's the most rare thing in here.
$500, but not
I feel like it must be actually $5,000, and I must be remembering that wrong. It is supposed to have live active uranium and things in it. Over here is the largest playset ever created, or at least it was at the time, the USS Flag for G.I. Joe. That is a 7.5 foot playset, George.
Pretty sweet. Dude.
Can you imagine? I wouldn't have ever had a room that big to have room for a 7.5-foot playset. It was a massive aircraft carrier for those little GI Joes. For these GI Joes, like the 3.5 inchers, the little 3 3/4 inch little GI Joes. You know, not the big giant 12-inch GI Joes. That would make a lot more sense.
That's something you got to set up in your garage.
Dude, like it's a 1/20th scale, I think, right? So what? How big is that? 7.5 feet. Okay, look at all this stuff. They have micro tins from Empire Strikes Back, tons of Hot Wheels, Alf keychains. Where are you gonna get some Alf keychains, bro? Color forms. Alf color forms. Do you remember color forms? It's like a plastic
Where's that at?
picture right here, and then you would have all these cutouts in this clingy plastic.
Oh, yeah,
and you would rearrange them, and you had to use your imagination, create little scenes, and play with them. Do you guys remember color form? All right, moving on through the store. There's seriously more to see in here and buy than you'll ever see in your life, and I'm sure that they changed the stuff in here all the time. George, look it! George, come on, keep up, George, come on. Did you ever like X-Men? Did you play with the old X-Men action figures, bro?
I didn't have too many X-Men action figures. Like I had Wolverine and Cyclops and Gambit, but that's about it.
Look at Castle Grayskull back there. Castle Grayskull. Oh, 2 Castle Grayskulls up there. You guys remember? Ooh, and look at next to Castle Grayskull. Mr. T's, what does that say? Mr.
War?
T's Water War. There's all kinds of stuff I've never seen in my life in here before. Mr. T's Water War. Okay, I'm overstimulated. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Calm down, George. Let me see you visually. What did you do? What's your... Okay. Look at this. I've never seen this before. I had no idea this existed. Look at this, George. MC Hammer. It's an MC Hammer doll with a real cassette inside with 2 original songs and a personal message. What does anybody look at the cassette in there? Did anybody have this doll? Look how much he looks like Stefan Urkel. Doesn't he? Very similar. Anyway, look at the cassette. Look at the pose he's got going on the cassette. Did anyone have this doll? And if so, what was the personal message?
We want to know.
I really want to know what the
I'm
personal
genuinely curious of what he said.
is. And are they 2 original songs? Like, these songs are only going with my doll. Like, was MC Hammer in the studio like, can't touch this down, all right, the next track though is only going on the cassette tape that comes with my doll. It's an original. Or does it just mean like original, like, remember that song that he wrote?
I wonder.
And I wonder. I don't know why I'm singing that. Okay, let's move on, George. What else have we seen in here that's really weird? We've been kind of creeping on this place all morning. George thought that this was George Bush earlier. That is definitely George Burns, another George. George, you of all people, I would expect to have your Georges straight. Keep your Georges straight, buddy. Keep your Georges straight. We also met a really weird guy in here earlier because we're off of Fremont Street. There are a lot of, Vegas is a 24-hour town. There are a lot of inebriated people. And George is funny because George actually works as a security guard at a hotel. So he's kind of used to dealing with rummies and hobas and all kinds of interesting characters and crazy folk. And there was a man who I feel like he had a few drinks this morning or last night that he still hadn't recovered from.
Probably.
Who was in here making best friends with you. And the best part is George is like very patient because he works as a security guard. So you have really good bedside manner with those people. Like, oh really, man? You know, listen to all the crazy talk.
Yeah, really, that's cool.
And then he took you over here and he's like, look at these, man. Buddy Al made all these toys look like toys.
Look like Ford trucks.
They got some really old toys in here.
Look, here's a
I
Barracuda.
followed George around the store for about
Here's a Barracuda.
15 minutes. And to be fair, the guy was super, super friendly and nice.
Yeah.
But he was just drunk and didn't realize that you were like, okay, conversation
after about
over.
5 minutes, we were trying to get away. I was like, dude, walk.
Just walk.
And then he just kept following us.
Look at all these neat old
Get
toys. He was cool, man. He was cool.
Yeah, he was all right.
Mr. T's Water War, though. What do you think that was? Like a slip and slide? Let me look at that again. Oh, Dr. Zayas. Dr. Zayas. Okay. Mr. T's Water War. Hit Mr. T, and the slide gets wet. Hit Mr. T, and the slide gets wet. That's weird. You punch Mr. T and he starts spitting out water. Ooh,
Scumbug.
Scumbug. A lot of Scumbug. Anybody remember Scumbug from Ninja Turtles? He was definitely the most popular character, so if you don't remember him, something's wrong with you. Okay, let's go this way, George, because there's a lot more to see.
I wish they had the Technodrome.
You wish they had I had the Technodrome.
You have it or
I
had it?
had it. I never had the sewer. I had the pizza thrower and the Technodrome.
I
man.
wanted the Technodrome so
That was
bad.
the biggest, coolest, craziest present I ever had as a kid, the Technodrome. Look at this. My brother has this Tonka fire truck somewhere. Like the same exact one, man. Look at the Great Garloo. What is the Great Garloo?
Oh, fire truck, that's mine.
Oh, remind me at the very end of this to show you something Mickey Mouse related. Okay?
Question about your Technodrome.
Okay, question about my Technodrome.
Was it the one where the front went like this and then the ball rolled down and it would smash all the turtles?
I don't remember.
You press the button and then
oh, the eyeball would roll down. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
the huge one.
I wanted that so bad.
I never had this. And my whole time having Ninja Turtles action figures, bro, I never had this. And I'll tell you a story. I never had a foot soldier. My mom, they just never had them on the shelves. My mom one time took me to Target when I was like 8, and she was like, I think my grandpa had just died, and it was like a really like sensitive, sad time for me because I was really close to my grandpa. She took me to the store. This is the way I remember the story anyways. I may be mixing up dates and times in my head. She took me to the store, or maybe she was just being cool, I don't know. But she took me to the store, and she was like, hey, if you come to Target with me, I'll buy you a Ninja Turtle. Are you kidding? My mom's gonna buy me a Ninja Turtle. Those are like $5. They're super expensive. I'm super stoked. And by the way, look at this. Ghostbusters! Remember, look at the size of the card. Look at the size of the card. Normal action figure card, giant Ghostbusters card. Anyway, we get to Target and she goes, I get this Ninja Turtle and I go through and I'm picking it out and it was probably Genghis Frog or something, or it was Scumbug. I was gonna get another, there's a lot of Scumbug. They really love
Felicity
Scumbug.
Shagwell?
No, don't get distracted from my story.
Okay.
Hold on. So I get my Ninja Turtle and I bring my purchase to her after deliberating for like an hour in the aisle, and I was like, okay, I really.
That's like the most important.
And she was like, well, would you rather have a Ninja Turtle or a Nintendo?
What?
And I was like, I'd rather have a Nintendo. Are you kidding? And I got an NES, bro, a Nintendo Entertainment System, which already was then getting older, but I didn't have one. And I got a Nintendo.
Nice.
That was the same year Mario 3 came out. So whatever year that was, dude, I got
think
freaking
like
Nintendo.
93?
Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros.
Nice,
And then I
dude.
got Super Mario Bros.
Did you get the Zapper? Did you get the
Look at
Zapper?
the Zapper,
Yeah.
bro. It was epic, man. It was epic. Look at this. Do you remember Seaquest?
No.
Does anyone remember Seaquest? Dude, my neighbor across the road had Seaquest action figures. He was really into Star Trek. And then like he was like, oh, Seaquest, it's the Star Trek of the water. And I remember telling him this show will get canceled. I remember this kid was the star of Seaquest, man. Lucas, but I don't remember what his name was in real life. Is this guy still around? He was like the big hotshot star. And it was like, it's the Star Trek of the ocean. And I was like, this show will get canceled. This show is weird. Like, I do not see this show going. It's like, dude, it's better than Star Trek. And I was like, bro, nothing is better than Star Trek The Next Generation. That's not true, but for the sake of the argument. Also, I didn't know they made Congo action figures. Like, here, son, I got you a murderous monkey to play with.
Thanks,
A murderous monkey.
Thanks, Dad.
They're actually apes. Good job correcting me, George. Just kidding. I love you, George. You're cool.
Thank you, Dad.
You're just cool. Look at this. Here's a guy.
Well,
from
you didn't give me
Congo.
Karen Ross, though. I need Karen Ross.
Karen Ross. Do you remember, dude, getting an action figure when you were a kid? You guys remember getting action figures when you were a kid? And you look at the back of the card and you're like, I need Mangler.
Yeah.
I need Blast Face. I need the net trap vehicle. And you would see ones that you never saw on the pegs in the store shelf.
Dude, this looks cool.
Look at this. You remember that Hercules TV show that was on
Yeah.
TV for like forever?
Yep.
And of course, yes, there's Austin Powers action figures here, George. Those are more of adult collectibles. Stargate, I did not realize that they had Stargate action figures. I would have loved to have had these. I want the Kurt Russell one. Do they have a Kurt Russell action figure of
I
this?
didn't even notice all these Power Rangers down here.
Were you a Power Rangers guy, bro?
Yes, I was.
I was a little too old for Power Rangers, just on the cusp. Like my little brother's only a year or two younger than me, and he was into it. Who's this guy? It's the guy. Stargate. You guys remember Stargate? What a good movie. Kurt Russell was in that. If they had a Kurt Russell Stargate action figure, I want it, and I want someone to get the hat from the Shadow here. Remember the Shadow? Remember that? And I want someone to turn it in to a Wyatt Earp action figure for me. That would be
King
epic.
Sphinx.
King Sphinx? I don't know what that is. Okay, explain to me what King Sphinx is.
He was one of Rita's monsters.
Okay, I remember Rita vaguely.
Yeah, I
Didn't she
remember-
get replaced by a giant brain guy?
Lord Zed, yeah.
Lord
Do you remember
Zed.
Finster? The guy who would make the monsters out of the clay?
Yeah, I think so. He like stuck them in an oven.
Yeah, and then they would
become
come
real?
out. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then she would send them down. First they were normal size.
Well-
and then she'd throw her wand to make my monster grow, and then they would get big.
Okay.
That's when they would have to
But
bring
then
out the
she got
Megazord.
replaced by this guy right here. Whoa, dust came off there. This guy, Zed. And I only remember
Right.
Zed because there was a guy that lived in my apartment complex named Ed who gave me a Zed action figure because he worked for Saban.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he would.
Get you VR Trooper stuff?
You remember the Pink Ranger and the Red Ranger, Kimberly?
See, look, this
and
is
the Green
a-
Ranger, Jason was his name. I don't remember the real life name.
Jason Lee Scott or something.
He brought all 3 of them to our apartment complex. They talked to all the kids, and I was like, oh, they're from TV, but I don't know the show.
You didn't get all stoked?
I mean, I was like, oh, cool, the Power Rangers are here. Dude, all those real life people came to our apartments. They were talking to everyone. He worked for, it's a cool story. He worked for Spielberg a little bit. He brought a Raptor when they were filming Jurassic Park 2 on a truck down the street to our apartments. Yeah, it was awesome. Big rubber Raptor. Reference Raptor, I'm assuming, because they were probably CG.
Anyway.
What is that thing?
Finstick. This
So
is
he's the guy that
make all
made the molds. Okay, well, moving on. Star Trek. Same kid that was into Seaquest. Love Star Trek. Got me super into Star Trek The Next Generation. I had a bunch of Star Trek The Next Generation toys. One time for Christmas, somebody gave me this. Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge in dress uniform. And I was so stoked. Because A, I love reading Rainbow. LeVar Burton, hero of mine. For real, I love reading Rainbow. I got this and I was like, does it have LeVar Burton in it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't, but now I want to. LeVar Burton was my hero. I got this, like, yeah, Geordi, he knows everything, he can fix the ship. And then I was like, what's up with these clothes? Why is Geordi wearing a dress?
Yeah, it
and
looks
it
weird.
says dress uniform, and here's the thing, now that I'm older, I realize, oh, that means like fancy, like military dress, you're in your nice clothes, right? But when I was a kid, dress just meant dress to me. Like, why is Geordi wearing a dress uniform? Why did they invent uniforms that were dresses?
You know, I never watched Star Trek, so why does he have to wear that thing?
I don't.
Why does he wear the thing on his eyes?
He's blind. That helps him
blind?
see, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
his
that what it is?
visor. Look at this. It's the Borg. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. That's how I learned the word futile. Before all of the futile things I tried in my life made me learn it deep in my heart. Look
this
at
was
back
Doc
here.
Brown.
Much better. That is freaking Doc Brown. Yeah, no, it's Dr. Noonien Soon? Dr. Noonien. That's the guy who invented Data, I think. It's Data. Look at this, bro. Look at all these vintage Star Wars things. Better than Star Trek.
I move
Star
forward
Wars.
an act
Not
of
this
no
is-
confidence.
Chancellor Valorum. I had a million of these because I thought the movie was going to be
I will
good.
not discuss this in front of a committee.
Committee. A committee.
Then she talks all normal in the other movies.
Yeah, but look at this though. Look
Weird.
up here at the good stuff. There is a freaking Millennium Falcon in the box, bro. I think from the Return of the Jedi era, because you can see clearly some Return of the Jedi era figures. There's Leia in the Borscht. This guy's. Oh, and it says Return of the Jedi on the box.
I was gonna say,
Maybe if I had
I
paid attention for 2 seconds, I
wanted
could
to
have solved
point that
that
out,
riddle.
but I didn't know how you
I
feel
could have
about
solved that riddle. And then there's the Ewok Village. I really want that Ewok Village someday. Stormtroopers, the 12-inch series. Look at that big gun.
Speeder bike.
Look at the freaking size. Look at the size of that gun.
Speeder bike.
Then they have all kinds of modern Power of the Force 2 is what this series was called. Power of the Force 2 figures, and then all kinds of other random Star Wars themes. But over here, dude, there's more vintage Star Wars. Come here, George. Look at hiding up here in this nook and cranny. Some Imperial troop transports, and over here is a whole display case of vintage carded Star Wars action. Dude, now $84.99 is a little rich for my blood for a wicket on a card. Here's the thing, dude. I really feel like I could never collect Star Wars carded action figures because I would be sorely tempted to open
Why
them.
are those so much?
I don't know. Because they're on the cards. They're still in their original packaging from 1983. Look at these. These are the Power of the Force ones with the collectible coin. They are very rare.
I kind of feel like 1983 wasn't that long ago, though.
Dude, it's 32 years ago, bro.
Okay.
These are vintage, like me.
Yeah.
Check it out. This is the Gamorrean guard right there, remember? I can't see. There's a lot of glare. See that Gamorrean guard action figure? Now look at his feet, everyone. Look at his feet. There's a little secret for you. A little secret if you didn't know. Kenner, that made the 1983 Return of the Jedi action figures and the Gamorrean Guard, later produced a line of action figures based on, you guessed it, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the Kevin Costner classic. And one of the figures they produced in that line was this, Friar Tuck. If you look at Friar Tuck's feet, they might look a little familiar. That's because Friar Tuck was basically a Gamorrean Guard with a different head stuck on him, different paint, and a little brown robe. They recycled a figure, bro.
Smart.
Also, Robin Hood's hideout was just the Ewok Village playset with a little more foliage on it. Look at Kevin Costner in action figure form. He looks hecka handsome. And right up here, there's another Kevin Costner figure somewhere. Where was it? Where was it? Wasn't there a Waterworld guy? There he is.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner again. Kevin Costner, very popular at the Toy Shack in Las Vegas, Nevada. What's this? What do you got? The Mike Tyson TV series. And over here, right here, come on, it's Arnold. It's me. What is his name? Jack Slater? Come on, it's Jack Slater. I just bought one of these for Adam the Woo. It's sitting over there on that table. I just purchased it. I am officially a customer, and I'm going to give it to him as a present. Please nobody tell him. Because what if we lose it?
I want to go to Out of Faith.
I want to go to outer space. I love the way Mike Tyson talks. It's like, I just like to listen to it. It sounds so, I don't know. I was going to say fun.
Do you think he does it on purpose?
I don't think so. It just sounds cool. I like voices and accents. And I don't even mean it in a making fun of way.
Yeah.
Having fun with way maybe sometimes. And there is a difference, I think.
Or did you want to show
between having
Robocop?
fun with or making fun of. And I just like accents. I like all different kinds of accents. I don't know. I like talking. They get stuck in my head the way songs do.
I meet people from all over the world and they all have different accents. So.
Robocop. Remember Robocop action figures? I remember him from CVS. There's the cop himself. The cop built out of a robot. The robot built out of a cop. Remember you earlier were pointing out that his wife didn't like him after he became a robot cop?
Yeah.
Probably because he was made of metal and no fun to cuddle with, George. It's probably the reason. Remember Gargoyles? That was a weird show.
Till death do us part.
Huh?
Till death do us part.
Well, he already died.
No, he didn't. He didn't
He
die.
did. He was dead,
Did
bro.
he die?
Well, I mean, he was dead and came back.
No, I don't think he died.
Look here's the E.T., the extraterrestrial Elliot figure who's saying, pull my finger, George,
Really?
pull my finger. Dude, that face, look at the face he's making. You want to touch that? You want to touch it? You have to touch it, huh? Can't just look at it with your eyes? Nope, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Can't just look at it with your eyes. Now, George, look at these. Cabbage Patch. Look at all these Cabbage Patch collectibles. And then above them, the Cabbage Patch dolls. What do you know about Cabbage Patch dolls, George?
Not a whole lot.
Okay, well, let me tell you. Look at these things. Do they creep you out? When I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, these creeped me the heck out. And here we go. Look at this right here. See this? Birth certificate and adoption papers application. Be sure to send for your free adoption certificate. It's suitable for framing. I think it was all of them.
Yeah,
See?
they all have
Came with birth certificates and adoption paperwork. If you go to the factory where they create Cabbage Patch Kids, or if you Google this after this video, I want you to look this up. I need to hold you because it feels more intense if I do this. Cabbage Patch Kids have a birthing ceremony. There's like a tree and a place, and they birth the Cabbage Patch Kids.
I think I've read something about that.
And it's the weirdest thing ever. Look at this. Teddy Ruxpin. I do not trust Teddy Ruxpin at all. Because one time a Teddy Ruxpin started talking to me with no batteries in it. At least that's the way I remember it in my childhood. And it traumatized me, and I don't want to worry about it. This is something that makes George laugh.
I trust Babe Ruth.
What is that? Tell us what it is, George. Explain it. Don't just show us.
It's a Babe Ruth comic book.
And what's it about? The time he took out the trash, or?
It's about Babe Ruth.
It just makes it look so boring. Just the face he's making, like, do the thing about black hole. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's show some more cool stuff before we wing around and end this. Okay, that reminds me. Speaking of Teddy Ruxpin, over here, did you notice this, George? Come check this out. A couple more things, and then we'll go. Come on. Speaking of Teddy Ruxpin, I've never seen these before in my entire life, but I want them. Look at this. You see those?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. It's basically the a Mickey Mouse Teddy Ruxpin. The Talking Mickey Mouse Show, the world's first animated talking toys. I'm assuming this is a pre-Teddy Ruxpin with Mickey Mouse. That looks so terrifying. He has little cassettes and a storybook just like Teddy Ruxpin. How much does that say on there? $259.99. That is $200 too much. If I had $59, I would definitely buy that. I mean, I'm sure it's worth it. I'm just saying, I don't have it.
I want the magical Burger King.
I want that so bad. If anyone out there has one of those, I could even just borrow for a while. Look up George and tell him, look at this. Creepy bunnies.
Magical
Burger King. The magical Burger King. That's creepy. There's a lot of weird stuff in here. Speaking of weird, let's go this way and look at some other weird stuff. Here's sports collectibles. Those of you guys who are into your Women Crush Wednesday, this is the Giant seems like an awfully weird choice for a WCW, George. Seems like a weird choice to be your Woman Crush Wednesday, doesn't he? You're not going with the joke, huh? Not gonna laugh. That's cool. That's cool. Look at all this stuff back here. You got Pee Wee Herman creeping up there by some Twilight Zone action figures up there. Look at all this rare and unusual vintage stuff. A whole section of Simpsons Wizard of Oz action figures? Did not know these existed. Dorothy. Look at how cute she is, even in action figure form. Look at all this Wizard of Oz stuff. I like how there's paraphernalia and things. Oh, I was going to show that black hole pouch over there. Anyway, that was the Mickey Mouse related thing I wanted you to
What
remind
about
me of.
the eagle head?
Oh, the eagle head? Oh, over here is the 1980s American Eagle Olympic mascot. There's his head. Right there. For 125 bucks, you can get 1984 Sam the Olympic Eagle mascot head. That is so creepy. And next to him is Terror Donald. The scariest, what is up with that? It's authentic, and that is terrifying. Imagine someone breaking into your house in the middle of the night with this, bro. With that one. Even you would scream and maybe pee-pee a little.
That's a costume?
Yeah, that's a costume. Look at the mask. It's so scary, right? No? Right over here, we got all these. I want people to look at these because I don't know a lot of these. We got the $6 Million Man, I think here. We got, old school Etch-a-Sketch. I don't know what a lot of these things are. Whoa, Farrah Fawcett. Cher, we got Cher here. Cher and Cher alike. Oh, George, you're right there. Okay, also earlier, this reminds me of a story. Oh, look at these rare old school.
Punjab from.
Wait, what?
It is Punjab from Annie behind the blow dryer.
Punjab from Annie?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's epic. I did not know such a thing existed. I hope you guys could see that. I'm sorry. We didn't have time to build this scalar payment. Like I said, look at all these vintage Lone Ranger things. The horses are like 200 bucks. Look at all these very old school toys. Bonanza, Lone Ranger, that type of thing. Okay. This reminds me, George. Remember earlier when you were in here and there was another crazy guy?
Yeah.
And he was like,
oh, yeah.
check this out. Like, we were just standing here like this. George was looking at Hot Wheels because I think George is a Hot Wheels. Are you a Hot Wheels fan?
I love Hot Wheels.
I think I could tell because you get so silent and reverent near the Hot Wheels. So many Hot Wheels in here too. So we're standing here and this guy's just looking, and he's like, hey, guys, look at this Barbie van. You see this Barbie van? He's like, my sister had this van and I pulled off all the cardboard and all the pieces and I turned it into an ice cream van. And he was like waiting for us to be like, oh, no, you didn't. And we were both just waiting to see if there was any more of the story. And we had this really cool, awkward moment with the guy. It was a bonding experience, honestly.
All right.
Cool, man. Did you ever have these? Little People's House? They had an A-frame house. They had this boat. They had a little marina. I got a story about the marina. This is the old school airport for little... You never had Little People?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you saying no, then?
Go-kart.
Go-kart?
Go-kart.
You guys like Hot Wheels? Who's into Hot Wheels?
Everybody's in Hot Wheels.
Look at these. I mean, everyone likes them to a degree, but I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, I gotta have all these latest Hot Wheels. For some reason, like Star Wars, vintage Star Wars action figures, hook me up.
Bro.
Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. Did you see the Jetsons one over there? There's a little Jetsons one. It's so cute.
Jetson Hot Wheels?
Yeah, I just want people to get a look at this. Cupid dolls. Real Cupid dolls. Creepy. Dude, these were
Is he wearing a cap and gown?
Yeah, these were so... How is the Cupid baby graduating from college already? The Cupid baby's not only creepy and terrifying, he's also a freaking secret mathematical genius. Oh, Funny Freddy! I don't know what that is, but he looks awesome. He looks awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put the Cupid doll back. Mostly because I'm afraid of those things a lot. Look at this creepy Bugs Bunny. There's this. Doesn't look vintage, don't know what that is. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff in here, as you can see. A whole pile of Revell. Is it Revell or Revel monogram models?
Come on over.
Okay.
Small fee. Zoltar
Listen,
will give you a
Zoltar.
wealth of
The last time
wisdom.
that guy told my fortune, he said that I was going to die in a horrible car accident at 31. I'm
Really?
32 now. He's a liar. Never trust Zoltar. He's just so lonely. He just wants to say things to be friends with you. Look at this. Ben Cooper. What's a Ben Cooper? It's a Spooktown costume. It's really spooky. It's really spooky. Anyway, lots of vintage Star Wars stuff in here. Lots of vintage every kind of other thing in here. Look at all these toys. Old tin toys. Look at tin soldiers, probably. I don't know if they're made of lead. What if they're made of lead? Old cars and wonderful things. Look at this old Ferris wheel for 50 bones. Some of these are probably replicas, but some of them are probably original old school cars. Look at this Mickey Mouse right here. He looks like he knows how to party. For sure. Old boats. Look at this quacker. Look at this little quacker here. Look at this stuff. Like, look at this. I don't know what some of this is. If you guys want to screenshot any individual item and tell me, like, if you have any memories of it or anything like that, or post it on Twitter or somewhere like that, or my Facebook page, I would love to hear about them, honestly. We should take some pictures in here, man, of some of this stuff and post them on Instagram. Then, of course, there's the troll dolls. You guys have seen those knife form trolls in Epcot. That's what I was talking about. They decided to make cute versions for, like, kids and stuff. And I was in here with that same girl that worked here before. I think her name was Gabby, and she was like, these things, honestly, of all the things in here, these creep me out the most. Just the troll dolls. She says while she's working, they just look at her. She's like, please, someone come by all the troll dolls because they're terrifying. I just remember they were always nude. This is the Don King troll doll. Nude with a bow tie. You remember that guy? He was fun. He was a heck of a lot of fun. All right, I think that's about the long and the short of what we can show in a quick go around at the store. Just all kinds of crazy vintage stuff I don't really understand. Glazed almond, cinnamons, almonds.
Train set.
Train set. So now we have to go pick up that thing we bought for Adam, repair ourselves to the vehicle of our choice, and drive on into the distance and off into the desert to seek a random land adventure that may or may not work out. And as I pick up my present for Adam the Woo, the last action figure, look at here it is, of Arnold. Come on, come on. What is that?
I have no idea.
Well, now you touched it. Can you hold this stuff? Look at this. As I pick up, can you display it like Vanna, like what's her name? So we're gonna get this for Adam the Woo, and we're gonna go off into the desert. But before I go, look at that Mickey Mouse up there. Look at that thing. Look at that guy. Right here. That is so creepy. Also that guy out there with the lantern looks like he's up to no good too, but that Mickey right there is like, why? Why? I'm pretty sure if there are aliens in outer space and we showed them that when they landed, they would flee in terror. What is that? Is it looking at us?
Yeah. They both are.
They both are? Alright. We didn't mean you any harm, Haunted Mickey. Let's get the heck out of here. Thank you for joining us, everybody. LiveFastDiePoor.Spreadshirt.com for some sweet hats and shirts and wonderful things. Patreon.com/Justin Scott. Help me keep gas in the car and food in my friend George's tummy. Wimpy. I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And we will have more crazy, wacky adventures if you subscribe. Snapchat and Instagram, LiveFastDiePoor. Twitter.
How perfect that these two are here
The
together.
Hamburglers right next to Wimpy. Both of them want your burgers. Look at these. And speaking of burgers, we should go get a burger. There's a good gluten-free burger in Las Vegas.
Dude.
It's kind of pricey. You should buy it for me. Buy me lunch, George. Come on. I'll buy you lunch. You buy me lunch. I'll buy you lunch.
How about we flip a coin?
No, that would be like gambling. They don't do that.
Alright,
here
we
in
don't
Vegas.
gamble in Vegas.
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal.
Not yet. Scholars maintain that someday in the future, this joke will be funny. See you guys later. Bye-bye.